Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Crimsonpanda here with episode 1 of our brand new series, Community Comps. Now, for those of you who don't know what Community Comps is, it is a place where you guys can showcase all of your weird and wonderful builds. And the way you do that is you submit your deck to me on Discord. There's a link in the description below for you to do that. Just post it under Submit a Comp, and I will read thumbs up when I've read it, and we will try and get that shared on the channel. Now let's head over and check out the very first one that I've done. So this is a comp submitted to me by Hisoka. Now this is their take on Frost. It's very different and I like this build because it has a lot of versatility. Now let's talk a little bit about it. So the general opener is Thrall, Cornelius and Localar, but only if you're going up against triple fighters, right? So Varden, Jaina and Sinestra are the bench, but you really have to read what your opponent is going to play to make this comp work. For example, if you're going up against Frost, you're probably not going to want to be running 3 reds. You're going to want to try and figure out what the best play is against specific decks. So for example, against Frost, you probably just want to be playing a standard Frost with Jaina, Varden and Localar and trying to outscale them and deal more damage with the Frigid Winds scaling instead of them doing more damage to you scaling. I always like to, in those matchups, use a Frost Shock instead of a Hailstorm because the 50-50 flip with our Hailstorm going first is really risky, especially if they're running Localar on their Frost team as well. But against greens, obviously the triple reds are really good. We have Cornelius in here. Now I've found Cornelius really good in this build because he can protect a lot of your units. So coming down at a 2 speed if you're going up against Karen Diablo, denies Diablo's ping once because you've got a really fast ability before Karen's 3 speed, plus being able to protect something with Blessing of Sacrifice like the Sinestra in the late game is really strong. So that's kind of it. Read up on what your opponent is going to be playing, try and learn what they're playing before you chuck anything down, so that you get that little bit of an advantage at the start of the match. So we have Thrall here running Doomhammer, very good, killing Sinestra in one swing, especially if you've used a Varden to slow it down. We have Cornelius in there using Shield of Dawn, like we said. Localar's Frigid Winds for scale. Varden we're using Chilling Amulet because people are afraid to kill him once it's got the death rattle. They don't want to be frozen out for a turn. Jaina we're using Ice Block so she can't die. And then we're running Sinestra. Now this is the interesting part with Shard of Woe. So there's an extra cooldown, but it does a lot more damage. So you're dealing 80 damage to the blues in the late game, and plus that extra 10 damage going up against regulars like greens and reds is really good. Like you can try and plan using your other mercenaries to get a green unit below 40 so it dies, or a red unit below 40 so it dies. So the Shard of Woe, even though you don't usually keep your Sinestra alive in the late game too much because of this, the Shard of Woe really is helping. And with Cornelius keeping Sinestra alive in the late game, it does sort of give her that 1 extra turn benchmark with using Shield of Woe instead of having the Mana Brooch. So I hope you like this one. This is Hisoka's build. Feel free to like and subscribe on the channel, and also submit a deck down below if you want me to do a video on your build. Stick around for the gameplay, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So what are we thinking? This Belinda Frost, isn't it? So it's going to be Belinda, Jaina, and Varden. So what's going to counter that? We don't need the Cornelius for the stopping fighters. So we can either go Localar Frost, but this will get frozen out by the 5 speed. Unless we queue up a 5 speed, maybe kill it off. It increases these to a substantial amount. I think we do that. Might get frozen out, but if we queue 5 speed, it should be fine. Okay. So we can either queue 5 speed first or after. If we go first, it might guarantee going off a little bit quicker. We could still target this so we don't get frozen next turn if this misses. And if it dies, then we got the 6 speed going somewhere else, which will be random, but that'll be fine. His bench could be anything. It could be Karen Diablo Cookie. It could be Sinestra Localar Cookie. It's definitely Cookie because they got extra health. Okay, yeah, so we didn't kill that, so we did need to target it. They get the freeze off, that's fine though. We get a big hit random somewhere. Jaina, it's not the one I wanted because this is dead, localized dead. I guess we go for Jaina because we wounded it. This isn't going to get any more frost damage scaling, but it can freeze next turn if we don't kill it. That's fine. We'll bring a Merc out that's got a quicker ability. Okay, so it's on 7 speed. So bring Cornelius out and taunt up. And then that'll heal these two. Could pop that with Varden's, or we can just go for a Sinestra 5 speed, which is probably the best option. We pop this with Varden, and then next turn this is going to kill everything. So actually running the equipment where it increases the Twilight, the Shard of Woe. So we go 5 speed. We could Q7 and stop this from attacking, or we could save it for next turn. Or we go Flurry and just pop this bubble with that, and then this hits somewhere else, maybe over here to get it below 40. I think that's better. Okay. Full speed Sinestra is still fine and quick. Cold Snap at 8 isn't going to be good enough. Or is it? 5 hits here, kills it. Maybe they do that. We want to kind of stop the scale here. This is going to die from a 5 speed. We can't prevent that. So this actually isn't going to be a lot of damage at all. So this will be 8. We could slow them down next turn so we get a guaranteed Thral swing. But then we don't need to slow them down because Sinestra is going to clear the board. I think we just prevent a little bit more scaling. Or do we? Because this scaling isn't going to matter because it's going to be dead. I think we try and freeze that. Just in case they don't kill it. Yeah, nice. So we don't get slowed, which is actually huge. So we can either bring out Cornelius here to protect Varden a little bit, or we can bring out Thral to just 6 speed swing. I think if we go for this first, we could slow them down so Thral gets a guaranteed hit if it's Sinestra. And if it's 6 speed, it might be Karen Diablo. If it's Karen Diablo, then Thral is going to hit into the taunt, which is not what we want to do. But if it's Localar and Sinestra, we need the slow ability. I think we're going to try this. Cookie was guaranteed. It is Localar and Sinestra. Okay, nice. So we can actually kill Sinestra here. We'll go 9 speed over there just for a hit. And I think we Cold Snap just for the bounce, because if we go 5 speed and they get that off, it's going to do quite a lot of damage to Sinestra. So we'll just go for that. Yeah. Thral kills that. Good. Cold Snap, we didn't want anything to die. We just wanted to use it. Go straight into Localar again. We will have to queue up a 5 speed though. Hopefully this doesn't punish us. He concedes. Awesome. Okay, so this guy just beat us. We thought they were going to be playing Belinda Valera, but they were running Tyrion Frost. So how do we counter a Tyrion Frost build? So we could start with Sinestra. Tyrion's going to attack. Do we need Cornelius to protect us, or do we just go full Frost and out-Frost them? Can kill Tyrion really quick and force them to bring out another green unit. I think the localize is probably our best chance, isn't it? And get this frost damage off. Don't need to necessarily queue up the 5 speed because he's going to be quite slow on turn 1. So we can just focus down something else. So we do need Varden dead because of this speed. But Jaina scales too much. But then is that Localar on the bench? Let's go for Jaina. Okay, unfortunate with the flurries. Okay. So he's probably going to go for a 2-speed, right? So if we go for that. And we'll cold snap. This won't die, but maybe these hit here and we get that off. This is speed 8. Everything else is going to go first, so I think we just flurry actually. Okay, we went first, which is kind of bad. Do kill the Tyrion, gives the Jaina a buff, but it does pop. Okay, that wasn't too bad actually. Our Localar is dead. Cold Snap doesn't matter. So he's slow, other than his 5 speed. Oh no, it's not a 5 speed, it's just glitched out. So we can Cornelius to keep those two alive, or we can Thrall to counter a blue coming down. Red, sorry. This is just dead off of this. This does 20. Depends if we want to be even quicker. He cold snaps so we're not slow. This does 14. Do we want to protect any of these? I think we do with Cornelius. Illidan. Okay, so the taunt is happening. Can't freeze him. Cold Snap doesn't go off in time. Could taunt up for next turn. But then this doesn't kill it. And we need to kill it. There's 18? Yeah, 18 here. And we'll slow him down. Maybe he's going to go for a 7 speed and hit all 3. I think he might try and do that. Because he knows he's not going to get past this taunt. Yeah, sweet. We are slow though. But we can prevent something taking damage here. Diablo, okay, so Thrall is going to come down in a minute. What do we want to protect? If we protect Jaina. Do we want to chip these down, or is this going to be really annoying? Could go for a 7, this isn't good enough. Kind of want to kill Diablo because this is going to be Karen, he's going to have some speed turns. Don't mind if Varden dies, he's not the scaler. And he will slow their unit down. Okay, we hit the Diablo, which is annoying, because that's the one we're trying to kill. So he's slow, we can kill Illidan here. Hopefully kill Diablo. 2 speed. This hits here. We can taunt. Is taunt worth it? It's another unit for Diablo to try and mess up. We're going to hit here for 40, and then we're going to hit there again for 40. Whereas if we hit Diablo and kill it, it could hit this. And then we could kill it with this. But if we miss it, it's going to kill our Cornelius, and this is going to have a really big hit. Let's try it. Okay. Oh, he swung anyway. And we double hit Diablo. Just shoot that 14. Okay. Tried to slow us, but was too slow. So he has got a speed turn here. We're going to move this away from there. We don't want it to hit this twice. Hitting this is fine because it'll kill it. So we'll keep that position. Okay, so this is a 3 speed for sure now. So the 5 isn't going to matter because he's going to swing already. Do big damage there. This survives. Go for an AoE so we don't attack. Just concedes, amazing.